here from Brattleboro, Vermont, and I am wanting to speak a bit about springtime. I am absolutely hearing it here in Brattleboro, Vermont, smelling it in Brattleboro, Vermont, and feeling it in Brattleboro, Vermont, which means that anywhere south of here, it's going to be a lot stronger. Spring is a time when there's a lot of sap rising, a lot of bulbs starting to move, a lot that is afoot, but not necessarily a hand. You can't see it as much at this time of year in Vermont, but it is unquestionably felt. The restlessness of this time is quite marked. So, of course, is the capacity for frustration because the sense of something moving underground and something moving on the inside is absolutely not necessarily matched by a sense of outward pathway. I can tell you here in Vermont, the roads are turning into mush. And so we're actually able to get places less quickly than we could in the winter because everything's completely soggy and blah, blah, blah. There's no buds opening. They've not even turned red yet. There is maple syrup starting because the sap is running. So there's this itchy inward feeling. Now, in East Asian medicine, it's considered that you can completely heal any element in the season of that element. I think that's worth going for. So that's why I do these seasonal recharge workshops. I'm doing one on the equinox this year in order to help us tune into what do I do with this energy? What do I do with this? I wanna, can't wait, like where, how, so, that inward stir for something. The first thing that is really, really helpful when we start to have that stir is to feel for up and down, both of them. One of the most amazing things about wood and about, for instance, trees is that they span between heaven and earth. Give it a try yourself right now. Can you feel yourself between heaven and earth? In other words, there is such a thing as down. Can you feel your down body? Down? And without losing your down body, can you also feel your up body? Up. And can you feel your middle? That's like a pivot between both directions. I will mark that everything I'm saying, you could hear me on a purely theoretical level and think to yourself, oh yes, being aware of up and down. I know about being aware of up and down. Of course I can. That's, yep, there's down, there's up. I could talk all day about up and down. Cognitive understanding of having an up body and a down body is not the same as actually feeling wherever you're standing, wherever you're sitting. Can you feel your down body? Can you feel your hips down and your feet down? That down, like a slight downward pressure of rooting like a tree. At the same as your rib cage is in relation, and arms are in relation to your up body. This is an important part of healthy wood. is the body that is spanning between heaven and earth. Feel your hips moving down, even if you're on a chair. Down hips. Feel your rib cage up. Feel how that opens up the middle area of your body between rib cage and hips. Exactly the area where liver-chi constraint is said to be at its worst when we're not in our healthy wood body. When you're standing up as well, feeling your legs and hips down like a rooted tree. Feeling your chest and arms up like a growing tree. So much of insight, outlook, and attitude are physiological. Just to give this a try crunching up. Cross your arms and let your rib cage kind of fall onto your hips. Give it a try. I find that this is not a physical body posture that is creativity prone. Don't believe me though. Check it out. Find out for yourself. Then for a moment, because you can spend a whole week in that posture and find out what it's like. Feel your hips down and your rib cage up so that there's a space in between, the median void between heaven and earth. And see what it feels like to spend a while committing to walking around, hips and legs down, chest and arms up, and see what attitudes, what perspectives, and what creative insights arise. There will be a lot of exercises like this that are very, very physical practices to pass on during the spring recharge as part of how we fully allow ourselves to live into the rejuvenative and redirective energies of springtime. One of the things that's incredible about the wood element and about the springtime is that it's all about starting over. It's the big chance for a redo. It's resurrection. It's not a mistake, not a coincidence that Easter is in the spring. Yes, it's a very profound Christian holiday about resurrection, but it is at the same time as many other holidays and many traditions that are about coming back from the dead. On some level, every single springtime is a return from either the dead or what sure felt like the dead. I don't know about you, but after this past year, all of which in many ways felt like a very long winter time, I'm ready for that sense of renewal. I'm ready for that sense of beginning again and coming back to life. Specifically in the spirit of healthy spring, which is a renewal of orientation and direction. That's no small thing. When all of this energy comes bursting forth, and you may already be feeling it, how do we handle that? How do we make sure this energy is not misdirected, as can easily happen? Step one, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but step one really is hips and legs down, chest and arms up, to make that space in the middle. Another aspect of springtime and the life of trees and plants and the wood elements is the nature of growth. We will be speaking about this a great deal during the spring recharge. What is growth? How do we grow? What is healthy growth? Because not all growth is healthy. There is malignant growth also. Healthy growth emulates that of the plants. And which direction do plants grow? Which direction do the trees grow? And the answer actually is not up. It's actually not as simple as that. It seems that way because the sun is in the sky, but if you have house plants, have you noticed that you have to keep turning the house plants? Because plants and the wood element aim for the light. That is no small statement. Trees grow towards the light. The returning of life, this obstreperous wah that comes up back from the winter depths. I'm alive. What do I do now? Proper direction, proper orientation. The bottom half of the body roots more deeply into the dark, into the mystery, into the depths of my potential. Asking again, who am I and what am I capable of? While the upper half grows towards the light. Healthy growth is rooted in the mystery, rooted in the questions, rooted in the resources that live in the dark. Who am I? Who am I now? And moves towards the light. What does that mean to move towards the light? In the microcosm of our own body, it means towards the heart. That growth is towards the heart, towards that part of us that is like a radiant sun in the middle of our chest. And that is the same in all of us. We all have this sun inside of our chest. It's considered the place of connection, not just to each other, but to all of life and all of consciousness. So we're growing in what direction? Towards the light, towards the heart, towards the place where we connect with all light and all life. When we are growing towards the light, this is called constructiveness. It's the Confucian transformation of virtue of the wood element. And like all of these virtues, you know it don't come easy. That there may in fact be some moments of looking at the situation we are in and possibly getting angry, which is part of the sign of springtime and the sign of the wood waking up. An initially very healthy feeling that comes of putting our roots down and our branches up, a feeling of there's more potential here than is manifesting. I know it. Or put in really simple terms, we could be doing better. I know it. That feeling on any level of we could be doing better is a sign of being in touch with the potential, which is water, the roots, and having a sense of direction towards the light, towards the betterment of all consciousness and all life. Now, this orientation of constructiveness, this orientation of coming from our potential and from there moving towards the light, it's herky-jerk, like springtime. It's got its like backs and forth. It meets its stumbling blocks. It has its time of needing perspective. And it really, really, really takes a toll on the body and our health if we don't have some simple ways to both ground and free ourselves at the same time. That's what the spring recharge is about, for sure, is how do we ground and free so that we can come forth with this energy with a very good sense of direction. Always towards the light. Always towards the light. Because that is our health and also the health of our world. Heading for the light. All right. Take care and head for the light.